Oh, I'm already recording. If you follow me and you know who I am, hello. If you don't, hi guys, I'm Mackenzie McKee and I am a type 1 diabetic. So a lot of you, I was featured on an MTV show and filming for one right now, and then I also own a fitness business called Body by Mac, and a lot of people followed me and did not know I was type 1 diabetic, which is absolutely crazy because it's such a huge part of my life. And I will say, when I was first diagnosed, I didn't really like to talk about it. I didn't want people to like look at me and see like a sick person or treat me different, or I don't know, I just wanted to be normal, so I didn't talk about it. And then when I started being in the spotlight, I realized it needs to be talked about. I need to raise awareness. Like, people are watching me and I don't need to be embarrassed about it, because what is that teaching the people who have the disease, or their kids have a disease, or little children who are watching me who live with this horrible disease? What is that teaching them? I need to raise awareness, and I need to let you guys know that look at what all I've accomplished. You can chase your dreams and you can do anything if you have this disease. So I really did not think people cared to hear about it. I don't want to like annoy people. Like, when I talk about it, I don't want them to think I'm complaining that I have it. And I guess that's like what I thought I was doing. And I shared a story the other day because my blood sugar was high and I went for a walk and it helped lower it. And I just kind of threw out some facts, because if I didn't have diabetes, I wouldn't know half the stuff that I know. So I am kind of thankful for the disease, if I'm looking at it in a positive light, that it taught me a lot, because now I run a fitness and health business teaching others how to live a healthy lifestyle, because I was forced to learn about healthy living from the age 11. After I Snapchatted that, so many people were like, I really think you need to start talking about this more. You need to make a video telling your story. Like, it's really, really interesting. I really wish you would touch base on it. And then I've also had some other type 1s message me privately and say, why don't you talk about your story? Like, it's kind of discouraging for us to watch you. So I'm here making a video all about type 1 diabetes, also known as juvenile diabetes, also known as this disease sucks. Okay, so I'm going to tell my story. I was born in 1994 into a family of fitness fanatics. My mom was a marathon runner. She did not keep pop in the house, and I think that the good Lord gave me her daughter because he knew that I was going to become a diabetic at the age of 11. So I was just raised like, I loved fitness and health. I always knew I wanted to go somewhere in the fitness and health industry, but I thought it was going to be a famous cheerleader, because I was in the gym tumbling from the age I was 4 to I still tumble. I'm actually a cheer coach on top of everything I do. I don't know how long or where I'm gonna go with it, but I do coaching now. I was high energetic. I was beating all the boys. You can ask the boys I went to grade school with. I beat every single one of them in arm wrestling, because I was just so strong. I was so athletic. My body was always moving, but I was always ADHD. And if you are around me, you know that I still struggle with just ADHD. And I thought I would just always be so stupid in life because I can't sit still and read a book and whatever. And then I ended up using that energy, turn it into a fitness business. Look at me. Don't let anything stop you, my love. Life was good. I was like one of the best tumblers in the gym. Hate to toot my own horn, toot toot, but I was always one of the best tumblers in the gym. I was really talented. I was really, really, really talented. And at the age of 11, I just started slowing down. And I thought it was puberty. My mom told me it was puberty. Even my sister was like, yeah, when I hit puberty, I kind of started slowing down too. I kind of started feeling sluggish. And I listened to them, but I'm like, this just doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel normal. And while all my friends who were hitting puberty were getting tatas and lovely curves, I was becoming skeletal. So I was just losing weight, and that doesn't happen when women hit puberty. I was skinny, I was weak, and I was drinking a lot of water. So 2 of the symptoms of, and you should watch these in your children or yourself, is I was chugging. I did not care where the water came from. I would have drank out of a creek, out of a muddy pond. I was thirsty all the time to where I couldn't control it. So, you know, in school, when you like go from hour to hour to hour to hour, at this point in my life, I was skinny, I was weak. What's going on? I was in middle school and I got a detention. And I'm not a troubled kid. And I sat down at the table before the principal called my mom, and I said, Mom, and let me remind you guys that type 1 is not known to be as genetic as type 2 or gestational or all of those, which I'll get into that here in a minute. I was at the kitchen table and my mom was cooking, and I'm like, Mom, you're gonna get a call because they're gonna tell you that I am getting out of class 5 to 6 times each hour. The teachers got together and talked and realized this girl's lying. There's no way someone pees and needs to go to the water fountain 10 times in 1 hour, every hour of the day. And they thought I was lying. They thought I was going to the bathroom and calling my boyfriend, which was a douchebag at the time. I was like, Mom, I am not kidding. There is something wrong with me. I'm craving sugar. I'm skinny. I was 79 pounds and I was the same height I am right now. And I cannot stop drinking and peeing. There is something wrong with me, and my tumbling slowing down. I was in the middle of cheer tryouts. I was so desperate for sugar. This is the funniest story that my family will not let me live down. I was so desperate for sugar. This kid next to me in class thought my older sister was hot, so I forced him to buy her picture, which I had in my binder. You know how you can slip it between the clear part? Yeah, I had my sister's sexy picture. It was a school picture, and I was like, I will sell this to you for $2. And I took that $2, I went to the vending machine and I bought a big honey bun. I bought 2 big honey buns and I scarfed them down. And so I craved sugar, I craved water, and I drank a lot, and I was super weak. So those are some signs that if you are experiencing these signs, please go see a doctor or grab a glucometer and check your blood sugar. I'll never forget when I finished the story telling my mom at the kitchen table, because she was cooking and she was stirring and she slowed down, and I'm like, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. My first attention. And she looks at me and she said, oh no. And I'm like, what? And she's like, she just walked into her room. And I'm like, that's weird. So the next day was my sister's sweet 16. My mom took us all to Applebee's, and I drank 6 large Dr. Peppers before we even got our meal. I was so thirsty, and it doesn't help that Dr. Peppers had sugar in them. I was just craving not only water, like I drank a lot of water, but I was and I don't drink, like we didn't drink pop. Like I said, my mom didn't keep it in the house, and she just slowly ate her food. And then we went shopping, and I peed about 100 times, and I think I drove her crazy. I think I drove my sister crazy. It's my sister's sweet 16, and here I am just causing all these problems, but my sister loves me. She even wrote an essay about this, her sweet 16. That was very sweet enough to cause a very high blood sugar. But my mom got out a glucometer and said, she knew I was scared of needles, and she told my brothers and sisters, she said, we're all gonna get in line and we're all gonna check our blood sugars. Let's wash our hands. Everyone's gonna check their blood sugars. And she kept switching the needle, and my siblings were like, here's my finger, and they had 100 blood sugar, 110 blood sugar. All 3 of them had perfect blood sugars. Then she gets to me, I'm screaming, I'm shaking, I'm running, I'm hiding in corners. Yes, I was 11 when this happened. And she finally did it. And she checked it, and the glucometer read high. HI. When the glucometer reads high, you're in a lot of trouble, because these at-home glucometers only read so high, and then you need to go to the doctor and see how high it is. So she Googled it, and that glucometer went up to 600. So that means my blood sugar is higher than 600. Now, if you know anything about diabetes or not, here's what your number should be. It should be between 90 and 130. That's about the range. Some say 80 and 130. I think 90 and 130. So anything below 80 and anything above 180 is bad. It means something is wrong with you. And mine was above 600. So I ran to the bathroom. I'm bawling. I have my hands over my eyes, and my siblings come and they're like, it's okay. You don't have diabetes. It was a glitch in the system. I don't know why they said that. I still ask them to this day, why did you say that? Because you gave me a little hope. My mom was standing in the hallway, and I could just see she was ghostly white. And we went to the hospital, her and my dad. No one spoke the whole way there, and it didn't register like my life is about to change. And that was the day my blood sugar was 780. That was the day I was diagnosed with type 1 diabetes, and I've taken shots since. So Type 1 diabetes means that your pancreas, everyone has a pancreas that creates insulin. When you eat, your body releases insulin and it causes a steady blood sugar. Our pancreas is shriveled up. It doesn't create any insulin at all. That's when you are a type 1. We have no insulin. You have to inject insulin. Not only inject insulin, it's not as easy as taking 5 shots a day and you're fine. No, you have to calculate it. You have to listen to your body. You have to know when you're sick. You have to, it is just, there is so much science behind it. And I was just sick for so long, just trying to figure it out. Those first 3 years were so rough. I was going through a honeymoon stage. I was high. And that's the other thing. When people first are diagnosed, their body reacts differently that first year. It's called the honeymoon stage, as it does later on. So then you just constantly, every year I readjust my insulin and my routine and everything, because my body's constantly changing as I age, and hormones and all this stuff. Insulin is a hormone. So we have to figure out our insulin, man-made, but your body makes this insulin for you. We have to inject it. If we don't, we die. That's why it's called diabetes, but I call it livabetes. So that is what diabetes is. That is my story. So I was sick. I was just discouraged. I wasn't as healthy. I didn't have as much energy. I'm trying to figure it out. And not only that, but I was very angry. That same year I was diagnosed, I had a brother, and he was special needs, and he passed away that year. So it was a really hard year. And then I got with a boyfriend who was just not good for me. But a lot of us go through that, right? So it's just, I don't know. I was sick. I was used to being the best tumbler in the gym, and now all of a sudden I'm just having problems. I'll have a good day in the gym, and I'll have a bad day. My blood sugar's always high, or it's low, or it's, and it was a lot to figure out at a really young age. So then I meet Josh, and we do bad things, and we get pregnant at the age 16. Everyone knows that, so it's no secret. Secrets that not happened 9 years ago. But anyways, I went to the doctor. First off, I told my mom, we go to the doctor. That's a whole nother story. This video is about diabetes, and they set me up for an abortion appointment. And I'm not here to talk about my beliefs or your beliefs, but no, I will not. I won't. My mom grabbed my arm and she marched out, and we never went back to that doctor. Then I got with another doctor who was a friend of ours, and he was like, there's a chance she will die. There's a chance. I don't think this baby's gonna make it, but Mackenzie's life is in danger. We're gonna do what we can, but diabetics, before you have babies, should have a year of perfect blood sugars, which is nearly impossible, but just a year of really just taking care of yourself, getting that A1C down. A1C is a number of your blood sugar range for the past 3 months. So your A1C should be around 6. Mine was 10, and 10 is really bad. So long story short, I really buckled down. I researched, and I really learned how to take care of myself. I was checking my blood sugar every hour on the dot. My fingers are still destroyed. If you can see the tips of my fingers, there's holes all over them. And I was on a lot of insulin, and your insulin like triples even more if you are pregnant. You have to take a lot of insulin. You have to really take care of yourself. He was born 4 weeks early, C-section. He was almost 10 pounds. But I call him my miracle baby, because not only is he perfectly healthy to this day, but I was fine, and I also learned how to take care of myself. And I recognized how good my body felt when I took care of it. That day moving forward, I just always take care of myself. Now, I have experienced bad months. Every type 1 diabetic goes through this, of just, my body's going through something weird this month, and it will be high. I can't get it down. It's been a rough journey. And it still is. I still learn every single day. So now I am going to go over the difference between type 1, type 2, and gestational. Gestational is when you get it when you are pregnant. Some people get it when they're pregnant and they continue to have to take insulin. My sister was gestational. She did not have to take insulin, but she did have to watch what she eats, and she did have to check her blood sugar. Now, a type 2, a lot of it is because of your bad habits. And I do not like to say this because it does offend people. I am not here to offend anyone. But type 2 usually have bad eating habits, usually are obese. I know type 2s that are not obese, but if you see someone who is very healthy and in shape, most likely they're not a type 2. And type 2 can be reversible. So it doesn't mean that their body is creating no insulin. They can buckle down, they can eat healthy, they can do the right thing, they can run, they can exercise, and they will be fine. Now there's a thing called diabetic 1.5, I think it is, where it's like borderline. So there are other... Now, I have spent a week at a camp with a type 2. When she complained when her blood sugar was 180 and wouldn't go do the courses, I just wanted to scream because 180 is perfect for me. Like, I would die for 180. And so it's just not as intense. Most likely they can get rid of it if they do the right thing. But you know what? I'm still learning, and now they're coming out with stuff where people can, if you do not do the right things early enough, you can make it to where your body is insulin resistant. If I was in that situation, there is no way in heck I would allow my body to become not insulin resistant, insulin dependent. If I was in that situation, there is no way I would allow my body to become insulin dependent, because it is a very, very, very sucky life. And even I was told by many doctors through my pregnancy, we do not treat you like a gestational diabetic or a type 2 diabetic because they are not comparable. We are going to treat you differently because it's a different disease. But like I said, you can turn into a type 1 or a insulin dependent diabetic if you do not take the right steps, catch it early enough, and do the right thing. Type 1, that is not the case. Our pancreases quit. We had no hope. We had no choice, and we are insulin dependent, or we will die. If you can live 2-3 days without this, then you do not have what I have, because I went 7 hours without this and I was sick as a dog. Anyone who struggles with blood sugar problems, it sucks. So I'm here to say, if you have borderline or if you have type 2, it sucks. It sucks to have blood sugar problems. It sucks. If you've experienced low blood sugars, that's an awful feeling. If you've experienced high blood sugars, it is an awful feeling. So once again, I am stating facts, and I'm not here to hurt anyone's feelings, but if you can reverse it, or you can do the right thing to not have to take insulin or not have to live the way as type 1s do, please take care of your body and do everything you can, because it is absolutely awful. But there is a difference. So if you speak to a type 1, do not say you have the same disease. That is all that I am saying, because they are different. But they all suck, and I am sorry for anyone who struggles in the blood sugar department, because there's also hypoglycemia and all that stuff. And I've had friends who have had it, and it's no fun. There's no fun in any of it, okay? So now I'm going to go through my schedule. These are all that I have. I have a long-acting shot that I take at night, and this lasts in the body for 24 hours, so it kind of just helps my blood sugar stay like this. This is a fast-acting insulin. I take it 15 minutes to 30 minutes before I eat each meal 3 times a day, with some snacks in between. So, every morning, and then I have my glucometer. I check my blood sugar 5 to 7 times a day. A lot of type 1s I know, they don't, but I just love to know where my body's at, especially before I work out, so I'm not like bottoming out. I love knowing what my blood sugar is. And then this is short acting. So this only lasts in the body for about 3 hours. So once again, I take it with every meal and I calculate it. So every 15 carbohydrates I eat, I take 1 unit of this bad boy. And you just, here's the numbers. You just dial it up, put it in your arm, and you inject the insulin. I'm actually going to check my blood sugar for you guys right now. And while I do it, I'm gonna take a shot according to my blood sugar because it's that time of the day. So I want to answer the #1 diabetic question that I get asked. So right now I'm speaking in behalf of all insulin dependent diabetics. There is no easy way out. No matter how you do it, there's no easy way. Whether you do old-fashioned shots, whether you have, there's like pumps and there's CGM, so it's things that you can attach to your body and they automatically put the insulin in you. It's connected to your phone. It's actually really cool technology. And then the CGM is constantly telling you what your blood sugar is and you don't have to prick your finger. And everyone wants to know why I don't have a pump and why I don't have a CGM. Here's my answer, because if that works for you, perfect. 1, it is going to be another house and 2 vehicle payments for me to afford that with the insurance I'm on. That's #1. It is ridiculous how expensive it is, so I do go the cheapest route because if I have money, I'd rather spend it on getting my kids clothes and presents or having a nice house. We would have to downsize in a house just for me to survive, and I'm doing quite well on this. Let me show you how to. So to check, you put the glucometer in, you put the strip in the glucometer, you prick your finger, it doesn't hurt, everyone always asks. You get some blood, and then you see the number. Whoa. 212. That's what my blood sugar is right now. So when it's high, you take a correction dose to get it down to 130, 1-2. That's my correction dose. And then you take it according to how many carbs you're about to eat. I know my meal is a protein shake, and I'm going to take a total of 7 units. I like to use my knee, put some fat up, get that shot in there nice and good. I do it in my arm or my butt. You have to rotate it, or your body will knot up, called insulin knots. I actually don't know the medical term for it, and the insulin will stop working. So and I like to rub it out, but I don't like to use my stomach because, as you can see, I don't carry a lot of fat on my stomach, but my butt, it's good to go. And the back of my arm's good to go. And I just like, I don't know, I don't like, it kind of looks like I have cellulite sometimes, and I don't want to ruin my stomach. Here is the answer of why Mackenzie McKee doesn't do a pump and this. As you can see, I just checked my blood sugar and I just took a shot. It took maybe 2 minutes. Maybe. I can do it, like if I'm buckling down, I can do it in 30 seconds. That's 30 seconds, 4 to 5 times a day, tops 6 minutes of my day. 6 minutes. There's a lot of minutes in your day. 6 minutes, and it's working for me because I wake up, I'm healthy, I eat healthy, I work out, I check it. I do not mind this routine. I personally do not want a patch on me 24/7. Everyone's, oh, it saves so much time because you don't have to stop and inject. That took me 10 seconds. This is just personally. If I had a kid, I would want a CGM on their arm so it could connect to my phone. That makes sense. If you just cannot get control over your diabetes, a pump makes sense. But for me, that is something hanging off of my body all the time. If I go swimming, if I'm working out, it's something hanging off of my body. I'm very rough. That is a reminder. I already don't like this. If this shot had to be stuck to me 24/7 and I had to look at it 24/7, I would be more miserable with the disease than I already am. That is personal reference, and people have a hard time with them sticking. It is on you 24/7. A CGM, a pump, they're on you 24/7. I don't want something on me 24/7. I'd rather just take 1 minute, 2 minutes out of my day, do what I just showed you, and it's super simple. It's super simple. So when people ask me why I don't want to pump, I guess it's just personal reference. I don't want something hanging off my body 24/7. And when I tell people who have the pump that, they're like, oh no, it's not that bad. And then, I don't know. And like I said, if you have a pump and it works for you and you like it and your insurance covers it and you like something attached to your body all day, every day, good for you. And that works for you, I'm happy for you. But for me, this is easy. A lot of people always ask me, how does working out affect your blood sugars and eating healthy? That confuses me too, because when I eat carby foods and when I don't work out, when my body does not get activity, I am so sick. I live this lifestyle to live longer. I live this lifestyle to have better blood sugars. Mine tend to run really high. If you're running low all the time, you're feeding your insulin and you need to cut back on the insulin. But if you're high all the time, you need more insulin. I run high very easy. So I'm constantly fighting to get my blood sugar down, and fitness and health has really helped that. The one thing that really sparked people's attention is when you're high, doctors say shoot up with insulin. So what diabetics are doing is they'll have a high blood sugar, insulin brings it down, food brings it up. They'll inject insulin. The more insulin you take, the more insulin your body produces. Even if you're not diabetic, everyone has insulin. The more fat you're going to carry, the more fat you're going to gain. And if you're just constantly fixing the highs with this, you're going to gain weight. The more fat you carry, the more insulin resistant you are, and the more insulin you have to take, and then the more insulin, and then the more fat you get, and it just keeps feeding off of each other. So I have learned to get a big jug of water, go for a walk. You don't want to do high interval training. You don't want to lift because your body can spill out ketones and make your blood sugar higher. But I've started to go on a walk or clean the house and just chug water, check it every 30 minutes and make sure it's coming down. And if you do take an insulin dose, take 2 or 3 units. Don't inject a bunch of insulin, because then it'll go low, it'll shoot down, and it's unhealthy to be like this. And then you'll have to eat and all that stuff. But like I said, whether you do a pump, whether everyone has their own way, I love the way that I'm doing it because it's the fastest and easiest way and the way that most makes sense. There's no easy way to live with this disease. It's just, you have to live with it. You have to get insulin. You have to check your blood sugar one way or another. This is my routine. I've been doing it since I was diagnosed. I don't ever really care to have a pump unless I'm old. And that's that. I really gave up on my dreams until one day I was just like, this disease does not control me. I have diabetes. Diabetes does not have me. So if you have diabetes and you're watching this, I just want to encourage you to look up my story, look up everything that I'm doing. I own a fitness business. It's become very successful for the past 3 years, and this is just the beginning. It's going big places. I've done big things for myself. Don't slow down. Don't not chase your dreams. Don't give up if you have a bad year of blood sugars. Just, I've done so much research and I was able to turn it around, and now I help others live a healthy and fit lifestyle. That's literally what I make a living doing, because not everyone was forced to know all about it the way I was. And I did years of just research and studying before I decided that I want to help others change their lives. So if you want to check out my fitness business, the link is below. This is all about type 1 diabetes. I would love to hear your diagnosis story or what works best for you in the comments below. And thank you guys so much for following my journey and your love and support always.